the truth about being married to a white man. A lot of you have reached out to me throughout the course of our channel and you have asked me how it feels being married to a white man and how it is. But today I am going to dive into it. I'll give you all the scoop. Let's get into that right now. And keep in mind, a lot of this is from my own experience, and so if you have your own experience, you can also share it as well. But the very first thing I would say about being married to a white man, when Ted and I first started dating, there were a lot of questions about how he was going to be receptive of me, how he was going to be receptive of my culture. And it's something that I thought about because my culture is so rich and there is a lot of things that we do that other people will not understand. The way we talk, the way we relate to each other. There is a lot of things in my culture that we personally do that white people might not understand. And so I started opening things up to him, for him to study, for him to have an understanding of everything that I am and everything that my people are all about. And I think that you have done a pretty good job at grasping all the information that I had for you. But to tell you the truth, it was not easy. So being married to a white man as an African or as a black person is never really easy because we have our own different language. I'm telling you, we have our own culture. When I speak of language, I'm not just speaking of a dialect. I'm speaking of the way, okay, let me tell you this, okay? When black people want to tell each other things, sometimes you don't even have to open their mouth. We can look at each other and we know exactly what we are saying. Like Ted and I have been at the grocery store where I've seen other black people, right? And they look at me and I look at them and we acknowledge each other. And I had to explain to Ted, I'm like, that's the white person saying hi to me and me saying hi back. By not even saying it, but we vibe like that, Yeah. And so I had to explain that to him. And that is one of the things about, our culture and being married to him and him not knowing what we are doing and me having to explain to him that this is why we do that. When black people see each other, especially in a town full of white people, we see each other, we are telling each other with the eyes that I see you, you see me. Right. So that is one of the things about being married to a white man. But how do you feel about when we go to the store, like let's say a black guy, okay, is looking at me and I'm looking back. Did you feel weird at the beginning or it was just like, oh?
No, I mean, it's obvious that there's some sort of like on the low understanding with all black people. It's like when you see another black person, it's kind of like you give them this respectful, I see you nod. Yeah. And it's just there. And I get it, when you see someone that you know about where they come from and what you've been through and they sympathize with your history in general, then you kind of want to give them a little nod. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but like truck drivers, semi drivers, do you ever notice a semi driver sees another semi driver and they'll honk their horn, burp, burp, but they're not going to do that to a guy driving a Toyota Corolla because it's just not who they are. So to me it made perfect sense. But if I might say so myself, I'd say I've done a pretty good job being initiated or assimilated into the African culture. I mean, is this not a dead giveaway? I'm sitting here wearing African clothes and I'm just like, I may as well be African myself at this point.
So another truth about being married to a white man is that, this one is hard for me because I just recently experienced it. A lot of people of your own race are going to say you lost your black card. A lot of people will say to me, Vero, you lost your black card by being married to a white man. I didn't know what that meant, like losing your black card. Like, what does it mean? Somebody explain it to me. But I guess they meant I'm no longer a black person because I didn't marry someone of my own race and I married a different race. That got to me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little emotional when that person said that to me on YouTube and on TikTok. I was like, how have I lost my black card by being married to a white man? I just married someone. So be prepared to be discriminated against. I'm just saying, from your own race, be prepared to experience all types of, you traitor. Yeah, I've been called a traitor too. You'll be called all sorts of names. I can't even think of some of them right now because they are just so negative. So if you are ready to go into an interracial relationship, or if you want to go into an interracial relationship, have a strong heart and know that some people are not going to be happy about it. They look at history and they think that we should not merge with each other. They look at history and they believe strongly in their heart that we should not be around each other. that. So keep that in mind, and you build your self-esteem up and be a strong person. Be someone that can stand up for yourself when you go into an interracial relationship.
That's right. So I wonder, I haven't heard from my family or any other white people, but I wonder if somehow I lost my white card when I married you. Like, does it work the other way?
I
don't know.
Really
it's like,
don't know. Yeah.
I've never heard that. I was a little bit disturbed actually to discover that people from your race were willing to go there and pick on you in that sense. But boy, there are a lot of people that are bitter.
Yeah.
And they don't care whether you're a brother or a sister or not. They just want to tear you down.
Yeah.
Probably because they're hurting still or something.
Yeah, the hurt is still there. That's something that I actually want to go into it next. But I know that, let me get into it right now. This is all from the pain of slavery. This is all from the pain that our ancestors went through. And a lot of Black people still need reparation. And it hasn't yet happened. And so a lot of us are holding on to anger. And a lot of us are holding on to things that we are having a hard time letting go, especially since racism is still going on even today. And so when people say these things to me, it's not to me directly. They are just voicing a pain that is within them.
Right.
And so that is why I never really responded in a bad way when, they said those things to me. I just, I didn't feel like looking at the comments, so I just deleted it.
Right.
But today I'm talking about it so that you guys will know some of the things that comes with being married to a white man. Another thing that people will say is that, oh, you left the fields, now you are in the master's house, you know what it means,
Yeah.
But those are the things that people will say to me, okay? These harsh things that I hear every single day. And so, like I said, the pain of slavery is still lingering around, and because racism is still happening and everything. And so people are really struggling. It's my prayer that we will overcome this. It is my prayer that we will overcome the pain that our ancestors went through, the pain that we are still going through, and that we will become one and understand that if we let love lead, we can overcome every single thing. I look at it and I'm like, okay, I love you, and that's all that matters. I love you, I love you, I love you. And the people that are speaking all these negative things to me, saying I lost my black card, I love you too. You don't know me, but I do love you, because at the end of the day, I'm a Christian and I let love lead. And when you let love lead, you have a lot of peace in your life. And so if you are going to be with a white man, if you are going to marry someone out of your race, just be prepared for these type of sayings. And that relates to another thing about being married to a white man. Be ready to teach them about the Black experience. Be ready to teach them about your experience, because we do have our experience. We do have things that we go through or have gone through or our ancestors have gone through. Be ready to teach them about that, because I tell you, not all of them are versed in the knowledge of the Black experience. Not all of them know about what we went through. And so a lot of them will be very naive about your experience, and you might feel like they don't care. It's because they don't understand it.
Right.
But when I sat there down once and I explained some of the things to him and he's seen it firsthand, I've realized that his heart has now opened. Even on Black History Month, before I even share, I'm happy Black History Month, Ted will be the first one to share about our history, and so I like that. So be ready to teach them about the Black experience, because the Black experience is a real thing, and it's something that exists every single day. It's something that I experience every single day when I go into the store, when I go into a restaurant, when I go into the hospital. It's that something that I constantly am experiencing. So be ready to teach them. And a man, let me say that I'm going to generalize this right now into bracket. A man who really loves you and cares for you will be open to understanding and will be open to actually take your hand and say, I don't know how it feels to walk in your shoes, but I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to help you cross over that. And so that is what I get with Ted. And that is what makes our relationship so easy. It's because he's open to help me. He's open to actually understand. And he doesn't dismiss it when I tell him, this is what I'm experiencing. This is how I'm feeling in this very moment. He doesn't dismiss it. And that is so important, to be with someone who does not dismiss your feelings. Another truth about being married to a white man is that be prepared for public PDA. Oh my goodness. Yes. They love kissing in public. They love...
Speaking of which...
Oh my gosh. They love kissing in public. They love romancing, I should say. They love holding hands. They love like holding your waist when you are out. Like, I'm still getting used to that because I come from a culture where if you dare kiss your boyfriend, even your husband in public, okay, there will be a town hall meeting at a village square. Like the audacity, you know? So that's the culture I come from. And so being married to someone who loves public display of affection is like, whoa, I have to learn that. You know, when we first got married, I was trying my best to like be that person. But as time went on, I'm like, man, is my uncle looking at me from the, you know, from the bridge across the street? Is my auntie watching me? Like, is this person watching me and stuff like that? So be prepared for public display of affection. That is the thing about being married to a white man. They love kissing. They love putting their hand in your hair, you know? And that is the thing about also educating them about your hair, you see? Because listen, I'm wearing a wig and he comes and he's like,
oh, I won't do that anymore. We're talking about like 101. This is what white guys that are interested in black women need to learn like at the beginning is like, don't mess with the hair.
No.
But yeah, the hugging and the kissing and holding hands and being affectionate.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you know, this woman puts joy in my step. So if we're out and about, I'm just happy in my heart because we're together. And so that compels me to want to grab her hand. But guess what? She's guilty. Maybe even guiltier than me, because despite her upbringing, despite her culture and all this ingrained stuff where she thinks her aunties and uncles are watching her kissing in public, at the airport when we first met in person, she grabs my hand.
Yes, because I was trying. I did my homework.
Oh, you must have known.
I did my homework.
Before I ever even touched her, before I ever kissed her, before any of that, she grabs my hand in front of everybody at the airport and whisks me off on our first adventures together. On our first date.
I was so excited. Listen, when I first saw Ted, I don't know, it's as if I knew that God wanted us to be together. And I also learned that, you know, white men and white people love public displays of affection. And so I wanted to do something that he felt comfortable with and something that he knew. But as soon as I saw him, I just felt that in me. Despite everything that my demons within me were fighting and preventing me from actually accepting my blessing, I knew from the deepest part of me that this is someone that God himself had brought to me. He wasn't just someone from the street. And so it was easier for me to hold his hands and to show him that I loved him and cared for him. And so, if you are going to be with a white man, be ready for that. And listen, probably this love affection is fun. And it's also easier when you are not around your aunties and your uncles. It's really easy.
And of course, there's a limit, even for white people. You don't want to sit there and like make out, you know, it's like, come on, it's not that. It goes a little far, but anyway.
Another truth about being married to a white man is that be prepared to teach them about your hair, your skincare routine, and every other aspect of self-care. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that white people don't take care of themselves, but they do have their own routine. Listen, when it comes to us, we wear our hair differently all the time. We wear wigs, we wear our hair naturally. It's not because we don't love our hair, we do, but we also have to protect the texture of our hair. So when we wear wigs and stuff, it does protect the texture of our natural hair. A lot of people do not know that. And so I had to explain to Ted that, listen, this is how I wear my hair. Another thing as well that I noticed about being married to a white man is that they don't really enjoy putting on lotion, okay? And so that is something that I had to step in and teach Ted about, that we love using lotion. We love to stay moisturized. We love our skin glowing. We do, and that's what keeps our skin looking younger and younger. But I had to learn that it's not something that a lot of white people grew up doing.
No.
And so they never really do it in their adulthood. And so I'm like, oh, you can put some lotion on your hands so that the ashiness goes away. I don't even think you knew about ashiness, did you?
No, I never even heard that term until I met you. So when you first met me at luggage there at Reagan International, did you think, oh man, look, there's Mr. Ashy or what? Like, because at that point I hadn't been using lotion at all.
No. We get ashy. We black people get more ashy because of the texture of our skin. Like when you scratch it, the ashiness comes.
Yeah.
But you looked pale.
Oh, well.
You look feel, not from lack of vitamins, but from lack of lotion. You lacked a little shine, I should say. You like a little shine. And at that point, I wish I could just rub some sherbet on my hand and go like this and just smack your face with it to keep it together. But the last thing about being married to a white man is the fact that, well, this white man is such an organizer. Ted is so organized. He is a perfectionist when it comes to a lot of things in his life and around the house. When I'm in the kitchen cooking, okay, I will expect him to be, in the living room, watching TV or doing something that he loves to do. But he will come in the kitchen with me. Whilst I'm cooking, he will be washing the dishes. And as soon as I'm done washing the dishes, we'll dish up the plates and then we'll have lunch or dinner. And after we are done, he's like, okay, honey, you did all the cooking, then I can wash all the dishes. I'm like, whoa, the first time he did that, I was mind blown. I was like, how? Like, I wasn't used to that, especially coming from the time of my fathers and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. Back home, our fathers, they sit in the living room or the veranda, and then they read a newspaper, or they are doing something, or they are having like a meeting. They don't come in the kitchen with their mothers and cook. And like I told you guys on this channel, I'm a very traditional woman. I believe in the woman, being in charge of the kitchen, cooking, taking care of the children, and making sure her house is in order. So when I was getting married to Ted, I had all of that in mind. I'm gonna wake up in the morning, make breakfast for my husband. When he goes to work, I'll make him lunch, I'll make him dinner, I'll also make sure the house is tidy and everything. But the fact that Ted is willing to help me and step in and actually assist me with these things gives me so much joy, because he's taught me something new that, listen, I know that you as the type of woman you are, this is what you love to do, but I also want to show you that I love you enough to help you because you do so much. And so that is something that I enjoyed so much, being married to a white man. And it's just really, really been rewarding knowing that it's something that they do, and it's been beautiful. And not all white men do that. So make sure that the person that you are courting right now, you ask her the questions. If you want someone that will help you around the house or will help you in the kitchen, ask her the questions you can ask.
And one more thing that I would point out is that in a marriage, you work together.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the task is. And I'm a big believer and advocate and appreciator of traditional gender roles and tasks and things that are assigned generally to men and women separately, but I don't believe that it's exclusive either. A man can do those things, and a woman can do some things that men can do, and you work together in order to make it just a joyous experience. Why should she be in there slaving away and sweating and cooking soup and all these wonderful things while I'm just sitting around, doing nothing? I feel a little bit guilty, to be honest, but I'm also a little bit OCD. So when I see those dishes stacking up and I see there's, food on the walls and on the floor and all this stuff, I'm just itching to go in there and take care of it. So it's like some of it's that too.
Listen, and so if you are going to marry a white man, there's a lot of questions to ask, okay? Don't just jump into it. Ask questions and make sure that the person is exactly who you want them to be, and vice versa. It's so important. Marriage is forever, and so with forever comes a lot of questions. So ask. There is no harm in asking. There is only harm when you don't ask. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Listen, don't forget to subscribe and to like. We want you to share our video. Share it, okay? And it's going to be a blessing to many, many people. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Bye-bye.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.